Today, we confront a story of profound tragedy, a narrative that writs at the very fabric of our understanding of parental responsibility. It is a story that demands our attention, not just for its shocking details, but for the urgent lessons it imparts. This is the account of 18-month-old Sebastian Gardner, whose young life was extinguished under circumstances that defy comprehension. Sebastian, a toddler with a future stolen, became the victim of alleged neglect on June 6th. His father, 33-year-old Scott Gardner, stands accused in this devastating incident. The events unfolded in Ormond Beach, Florida, a community now grappling with an unimaginable loss. The outcome is the most heartbreaking detail of all. Sebastian Gardner died. His death serves as a stark, painful reminder of the critical need for vigilance and accountability in child protection. This is not merely a news report. It is a call to action, a plea for awareness, and a condemnation of the actions that led to such an irreversible tragedy. Please like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. The circumstances surrounding Sebastian's death paint a chilling picture of extreme danger and alleged indifference. He was left in the back seat of a truck, a vehicle that offered no refuge from the escalating heat. This truck critically lacked air conditioning, a fundamental necessity in Florida's unforgiving climate. Instead of proper cooling, a small battery-powered fan was the only attempt at ventilation. While the windows were reportedly down, this provided little to no relief against the oppressive temperatures. These details underscore a profound failure to ensure the child's basic safety. On that fateful day, the outside temperature soared to a scorching 111 degrees Fahrenheit. Inside the truck, the heat was equally relentless, estimated to have peaked at an unbearable 111 degrees. Such conditions are lethal for anyone, especially a vulnerable toddler. The devastating impact of this extreme heat was tragically confirmed at the hospital. Sebastian's body temperature was recorded at over 107 degrees, a critical and fatal level. This scientific evidence speaks volumes about the suffering endured and the direct cause of his untimely demise. The timeline of Scott Gardner's actions on June 6th reveals a disturbing pattern of alleged disregard for his son's well-being. Around 11:30 a.m., Sebastian was left alone in the truck. This marked the beginning of a prolonged period of abandonment. Scott Gardner then proceeded to Classic Cuts, a barbershop, for a haircut. This seemingly mundane activity took precedence over his child's safety. Shortly after, around noon, he moved on to Hanky Panky's, a local cocktail lounge. He remained at the bar, drinking, for an extended period, staying until at least 2 p.m. This decision to prioritize leisure over his child's life is deeply troubling. He finally left Hanky Panky's around 2:40 p.m., more than 3 hours after leaving Sebastian in the sweltering truck. During this entire period, Scott Gardner allegedly displayed a shocking lack of concern for his child. He spent over 3 hours away from Sebastian, fully aware of the child's presence in the truck. Crucially, he did not once check on Sebastian during his time at the bar. Even a brief moment outside the bar, when he reportedly went to inspect some car damage, did not prompt him to check on his son. This alleged indifference, this failure to act, speaks volumes about the priorities of the accused. It is a stark illustration of a parent's alleged abandonment of their most fundamental duty. The discovery of Sebastian's condition and the subsequent aftermath are equally harrowing. Scott Gardner drove home before finally calling 911. This delay in seeking emergency help raises serious questions about his state of mind and intentions. When he did make the call, he reported that Sebastian was not breathing. Investigators later concluded that the child had likely been dead for 1 to 2 hours before this call was placed. This suggests a deliberate delay in reporting the tragedy. Emergency responders arrived swiftly, but their efforts were tragically futile. They were unable to perform CPR on Sebastian due to the onset of rigor mortis. This grim detail confirms the extended period of time the child had been deceased. Sebastian was pronounced dead at the hospital at 3:30 p.m. His death, a direct consequence of the alleged neglect, sent shockwaves through the community and among those who learned of the horrific details. The finality of this moment is a crushing blow to all who believe in the sanctity of a child's life. What followed Sebastian's death was a series of actions by Scott Gardner that further intensified public outrage. He returned to Hanky Panky's, the same bar, accompanied by his mother. They remained there until almost midnight, hours after his son had been pronounced dead. Witnesses at the bar noted that neither Scott nor his mother appeared distraught. This alleged lack of visible grief, so soon after such a profound loss, is deeply unsettling. Investigators believe Scott's mother was unaware of Sebastian's death at the time, highlighting the alleged deception involved. The wheels of justice began to turn, albeit with a delay that some found concerning. Scott Gardner was arrested on June 19th, nearly 2 weeks after Sebastian's death. This period allowed for thorough investigation and evidence gathering. He was charged with aggravated manslaughter of a child, a grave accusation reflecting the severity of the alleged crime. Additionally, he faces a charge of child neglect causing great bodily harm. These charges underscore the profound legal consequences of his alleged actions. The arrest was a collaborative effort conducted by the Volusia County Sheriff's Office and the Ormond Beach Police Department. Their diligent work brought the alleged perpetrator to account for the unspeakable tragedy. This coordinated law enforcement response is a testament to their commitment to justice. During the investigation, Scott Gardner initially provided conflicting accounts of the events. This alleged dishonesty further complicated the early stages of the inquiry. However, he ultimately confessed to authorities, providing crucial details that corroborated the evidence. Sheriff Mike Chitwood of the Volusia County Sheriff's Office did not mince words when addressing the public about this case. He publicly condemned Scott Gardner, calling him a human piece of garbage and a lying sack of shit. These strong words reflect the profound anger and frustration felt by law enforcement. Sheriff Chitwood emphasized that there was no logical reason for the child's death. He unequivocally stated that this was not an accidental forgetting, but rather an intentional act of alleged neglect. This distinction is critical, elevating the case from a tragic oversight to a deliberate abandonment. The sheriff's commentary serves as a powerful indictment of Scott Gardner's alleged actions. It highlights the deliberate nature of the neglect and the profound moral failing it represents. His words resonate with the outrage felt by parents, caregivers, and child safety advocates everywhere. This case, while specific in its tragic details, carries broader implications for child safety and parental responsibility. It forces us to confront the uncomfortable reality that not all caregivers prioritize the well-being of their children. It underscores the critical importance of vigilance within communities. The death of Sebastian Gardner is a stark reminder of the dangers of leaving children unattended in vehicles, especially in extreme temperatures. Even a few minutes can be fatal, as vehicle interiors can heat up rapidly, far exceeding the outside air temperature. This is a message that must be amplified. For parents and caregivers, this story is a harrowing lesson in the absolute necessity of constant awareness. Every child deserves unwavering protection and care. There is no excuse for the alleged abandonment that led to Sebastian's death. For law enforcement, this case exemplifies the challenging and often heartbreaking nature of their work. Their commitment to uncovering the truth and holding individuals accountable is paramount. The charges brought against Scott Gardner reflect the serious legal consequences of such alleged actions. For child safety advocates, Sebastian's story is a rallying cry. It reinforces the need for continued education, stronger advocacy, and more robust protective measures for children. Every life lost to neglect is a preventable tragedy that demands our collective action. This incident also highlights the importance of community involvement. If you see a child alone in a vehicle, especially in dangerous conditions, do not hesitate to act. Call 911 immediately. Your intervention could save a life. The outrage surrounding Sebastian's death is not merely emotional. It is a righteous anger, born from a profound sense of injustice. It is an anger that demands accountability and seeks to prevent similar tragedies from ever occurring again. We must channel this outrage into meaningful action. The memory of Sebastian Gardner must serve as a catalyst for change. His short life, tragically cut short, should not be in vain. We must honor his memory by recommitting ourselves to the safety and protection of every child. This case is a sobering reminder that the most vulnerable among us depend entirely on the care and responsibility of adults. When that trust is allegedly betrayed, the consequences are devastating and irreversible. We must never forget Sebastian Gardner.